This game coming up, and I sincerely mean this, any outcome between the best game they've played in 2 years and the world ending is in play. Like any possible outcome,
the rapture,
a comet screaming into Earth and killing us all, which frankly might be less painful than watching the Chiefs lately. Like, at least it'd be over quickly.
Yeah, good point.
You know, it'd be the first time that anybody's brought any pressure at Arrowhead all year long.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame, getting you ready for Chiefs and Colts, recording this after the Thursday night football game with the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans, a couple of teams that are in playoff contention. So there was a little bit of some AFC playoff implications in that game. Matt, how are you doing? How is your week? Are you completely over the Chiefs' loss to the Broncos yet?
Yeah, I've given up the will to live. And so when you do that, it makes life a lot easier. And just like, I don't care anymore. Whatever happens, it can't hurt me. I'm doing better than everybody in Western New York right now who watched Davis Mills go out there and beat him. Like, and I obviously, I understand Davis Mills was like a byproduct of that win.
Yeah.
But word to the wise for Joe Brady. I'm thinking maybe either like chip or roll Josh Allen out. I mean, I know he's immobile apparently, but maybe do something like that. Or I don't know, anything at all to not just watch your quarterback get annihilated for 8 sacks in that game. And it felt like it was about 100.
Yes.
But at the second half of the game, I mean, every time he dropped back, the second half, either he got sacked or was under immense pressure every time he dropped back.
It was one of those things that kind of felt like you were watching a Chiefs game a little bit in that regard of just like, they're just not changing a single thing on the offensive side of the ball. I was going through, actually, you know what? Peek behind the curtain is, Matt, you had texted me on Wednesday night and said, hey, you want to just record the show tonight? And I was like, yeah, that does actually sound pretty good. I should look and see what the Thursday night football game is first. And then I saw it was this game and I was like, we should probably wait.
Great call by you, because I was in my head, I'm like, okay, game's going to be a massacre. It turns out not so much.
And I said, Davis Mills has the opportunity to do the funniest thing of all time. And he did. Shout out Davis Mills, 3-0, stepping up for CJ Stroud. Is there a quarterback controversy in Houston right now?
No, there is not, but he's terrible.
He's not good.
He's super mega ass or whatever. I mean, but he had a 22.6 QBR and won the game because Allen had 0. By the way, I think we've gotten off the Josh Allen's the MVP train, which was like out of station for about a quarter of a minute there, and then it was like, oh, actually no, never mind. Allen threw 2 picks, was sacked 8 times. Had a QBR of 26.1. And by the way, like obviously, like this game's not on Josh Allen. I mean, as much as like it's funny to like take a shot at the Bills from the Chiefs' perspective, like this game was about everything that wasn't Josh Allen. I wrote 800 words for SI is like the reaction rate column, and it was my job to cover the Bills angle. Ooh. I don't even think I wrote about Josh Allen in this story.
No.
I was like, here's everything wrong with the Bills, and just laid out like I could have written an opus. Like, well, they can't stop the run. They really aren't very good against the pass either, but they don't play real quarterbacks like 8 weeks out of 10.
Yeah.
The offense, if they can't run the ball, is just like, how do you feel about mesh? Just 150 times.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to think about how bad this is. So, okay, they played Davis Mills in this game.
Mm-hmm.
They got a kickoff return for a touchdown.
They did. Crazy kickoff return for a touchdown, by the way. Yeah. Should not have been.
And converted a 27-yard hook and lateral on 4th and actually it wasn't 4. It was 4th and 27. It was more than 27 yards. It gained like
44. Right? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You got that play and a kickoff return for a touchdown and lost to Davis Mills.
Right.
Woof. Look, I think the real, like the legitimate takeaway from this, they're going to be a wild card team because at this point,
yeah.
So they're as we're recording this Thursday night after the game, the Bills are 2 games back of New England. New England is 9-2, Buffalo 7-4. Buffalo's schedule still includes games at Pittsburgh. Now, the game against Cincinnati is interesting because Burrow might throw for 800 yards. At New England and home to Philly. Those are their 4 tough games remaining. New England, here's the entire New England schedule left. At Cincy, which may be tougher now if Burrow's playing. Fair enough.
Defense still sucks, but yeah.
Brutal, yeah. Home to the Giants, a bye week. So really with the home to the Giants, it's like 2 bye weeks.
2 bye weeks, yeah.
And then home to the Bills at Baltimore, and then the Jets and the Dolphins to finish up. They can lose to the Bills and the Ravens, and it doesn't matter. Like, they still win the division because they win the divisional tiebreaker because the Bills hilariously lost to Miami. So, like, dude, the Bills are screwed. The Bills are going to be a wild card team. And I got to tell you, if you look at the whole conference, really, really good chance the Bills are going to play Baltimore in the first round of the playoffs. That is a really, really strong possibility right now. That's a 4-5 matchup.
That's insane. And the Chiefs could be going to Denver.
Narratives will collide on AFC wildcard weekend. Okay, I mean, I'll tell you, that is going to be the Bills Buffalo or the Bills Ravens game. If that happens, that is like the all-time desperation bowl.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, whoever loses that game, that's a long off season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but of course, that would be the craziest wild card weekend is if you had like the Colts hosting. Who the hell would be the 7th seed? I don't know. The Jags.
Sure. Yeah.
Doesn't matter, right?
Jags or Texans, fine. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Let's say them for a second. So you get Colts Texans 2-7. Okay. The Texans defense against Daniel Jones. You get the Chiefs at Mile High. And then you get the Bills at the Ravens. Like, there's a world where you come out of that and the Chiefs' path to the Super Bowl is like Denver and then like New England and Houston. I mean, it would just be unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, the Chiefs obviously they might want to start by winning a game.
Right. That would be huge.
We'll get to that momentarily here, but the Bills, is there any chance the Bills don't make the playoffs?
I don't know. It's one of those things kind of like with the Chiefs is like, who else? You know, like who else is going to make the playoffs?
I agree.
And I still think, so if you would have asked me this maybe Tuesday, I probably would have said, no, I don't think the Chiefs are making the playoffs. But like the more I like look at the AFC field and the more I just like look at across the NFL, I'm just like, I mean, who else is going to get into the playoffs? They still have, like, I think, over a 50% chance right now. I think that the possibilities definitely fall if they lose to the Colts. It goes down to like 35 or something like that. So this game against Colts, obviously a big one. Plus, the Chiefs don't have like any divisional tiebreaker, or they don't have any conference tiebreakers with anyone. Like head to head, the Jags have the head to head. They have to beat the Texans for them to have a head to head. The Bills obviously have that head to head, and they have the worst conference record of like anyone who's actually in the hunt for the playoffs. So that's tough for the Chiefs. But like back to the Bills, like I don't know who else would make it, right? Like that's the tough part. Is like there's only so many teams that can make it into the playoffs, and we've seen this with the NFC sometimes, right? Where you have that like 8 seed is just like a team that really has no business being there at all. And I don't know if that's going to happen in the AFC this year, but like I just don't know who else will go from the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, look, I really feel like for the Chiefs, this week is kind of Armageddon for this team. Like, either you win and you get your act together, or it's kind of over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, yeah, could they win out? Yeah, but like, what is going to give you the feeling they're going to do that off of 3 straight losses? And I got to tell you, like, look, I think the schedule is very favorable for them down the road or down the stretch here. But like, we just saw tonight, the Texans, I mean, they got a great defense, if nothing else.
Defense is incredible.
You know, now, should the Chiefs beat that team at home? Like, yeah, but that defense is not a joke. Denver, should you beat them at home? Yeah, you just lost home. You know, the Chargers, like, that'll be the game. That'll be the game that just sends me to orbit, because that is the game that Chiefs should sack Herbert 15 times, just blitzing him nonstop, though they won't sack him once. He will stand back there in a lawn chair the entire game.
I tweeted this out just before we started the podcast about the Chiefs blitz. According to Next Gen Stats, this is one that I saw when I was doing some research for this game. The Chiefs defense has only generated an unblocked pressure on 6.2% of pass rushes this season. That's the 9th lowest mark in the league and the lowest by a Spagnuolo-led defense. Not great.
Not good. Not good. Honestly, not good. It's been a struggle. Let's put it that way. And look, I mean, this game coming up, and I sincerely mean this. Any outcome between the best game they've played in 2 years and the world ending is in play. Like any possible outcome,
the rapture,
a comet screaming into Earth and killing us all, which frankly might be less painful than watching the Chiefs lately. Like, at least it'd be over quickly.
Yeah, good point.
It'd be the first time that anybody's brought any pressure at Arrowhead all year long. Like, I mean, I don't know what to do with this. Like this game, I've been asked by probably 100 people this week, what do you think? I know it's crap analysis. I'm just being honest. I have no idea.
Right?
Like, you could absolutely paint a realistic world where you said to me, hey, look, the Chiefs are going to come out and treat this like a playoff game. They're going to have their A script. They're going to be ready to go. It's at home. They're going to be really emotionally invested because they understand, like, they lose this game, they are done.
Yeah.
And they come out and they play lights out, and Spagnuolo's blitzing Jones, and they win this game like 34-20. And if you said that tonight, but yeah, is it possible? Sure, they could do that.
Mm-hmm.
There is also a world where we're sitting here watching Derek Nottie chase Jonathan Taylor down the field for 4 quarters as he rushes for like 217. And they just get no pressure on Daniel Jones the entire game. And as this is happening, I am just ascending to a higher being as I'm just being beamed up into heaven if I can make it there.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, as you're watching the game, you're just getting increasingly annoyed as they just don't pressure him, and Taylor does whatever he wants. It's Jerry Tillery and Derek Nottie. And on offense, the Colts play a ton of man defense, and the Chiefs are just like, we have no idea how to beat man coverage with 3 guys who run a sub 4-3 and Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. We just have no ability to do this. Hold on a minute. Let's scheme up a pass for Robert Tonyan. Like, I don't know. Like, and they lose this game like 34-17.
Right.
Yes, Big Bob. But like,
Big Bob, yeah.
Anything in that realm and between, I could believe it. Them giving up a ridiculous like punt return. Like, I mean, it's just Butker missing 3 field goals. It's like Lynn Elliott, but like in the regular season.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Who knows, man? I have no. And the funny thing is, if they win this game, they could start to roll.
Yeah, right.
Like, they really could. Like, we could absolutely be sitting here going, oh my God, like if they beat Denver, they win the division. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, but like it's plausible. Or we could be sitting here going, man, can you believe they're 6-8?
Right.
I don't know. I have no idea what to make of this thing. None.
I think that's a really good point to bring up, because I've had some people ask me this too, like, hey, how do we feel about this one? And for the first time in a pretty long time, I feel like I've got zero feel for this team. I've got zero feel and zero read on this team. And that is because of what we talked about, when we did our episode for Into the Bye Week, why every team sucks. The Chiefs suck because they are so wildly inconsistent. The consistent thing about them has been they've sucked on special teams. So that's been kind of a very different thing for them than in years past. That's been a real big bump.
That's a fun wrinkle.
Yes, who thought that was going to be a part of it? Especially when they have the highest paid kicker in the National Football League. Hey, I think you shouldn't pay kickers that much money, because as soon as you do, they suck. Justin Tucker, he did other things besides suck. But I'm not going to go anywhere else with that one. I'm going to leave that one there. I want people to know that I'm leaving that one there. And
Google's your friend.
Yes, Google.
But maybe wait till you're not at work.
Yes, not on a work computer. But that's the thing with this team. I've got zero feel of what are they going to do on offense, because you were just talking about how they're going to come out with a sense of urgency. They could come out with a sense of urgency. Well, they probably should have fucking done that 2-3 weeks ago too. Like,
it'd have been helpful.
Right. So it's like, you talk about the stakes in this game. We've been talking about the stakes in the last 2 games have kind of been the same. So it's to the point where, all right, when are they going to wake up? When is that switch going to flip? When is that going to happen? I will say, in the last 2 years, they've been really good at home. And this year, particularly, they've been awful on the road. They've been 1-4 on the road, 4-1 at home.
Yeah.
And they've been awful on the road. But this year, winning games on the road. Brett Coleman actually sent a tweet. I think he quote tweeted one of my tweets with this stat too, and I find this wildly interesting. Obviously, we wanted the Chiefs to see way more blowouts. As Chiefs fans, we're like, man, these close games, it's a lot real stressful. Their average margin of victory this year is like,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, 19 points is their margin of victory. It's crazy. Their margin of defeat's 4.4 points. So, I mean, all of their losses have been one-score games. They are not winning any of these one-score games.
Right.
The trend tells you, and I mean, I might be showing my cards a little early here, 15 minutes into a podcast, but the trends and stats tell you, like, if this is going to be a close game this season, it's particularly not going to go in the Chiefs' favor because of the inconsistencies on special teams. They have taken an absurd amount of penalties. Like, the self-inflicted wounds have been so much higher this year than in previous years for this team. That's what I think brings in those inconsistencies there. So, I mean, if this game's going to be close, which I anticipate it to be, I don't know if I feel comfortable with the Chiefs winning it if it's going to be a close game. A crazy thing to say. It's a crazy sentence for me to say. I know.
Anybody who feels comfortable about the Chiefs right now is a better person than me, or maybe inebriated, or both. You know what I feel like about the Chiefs? You know that, I mean, you're online like me, so I know you'll know this. Like the meme of the guy who's like trying to wash his car and he's just like a million things in his arms. It's just like out of control. Yeah. That's what it is watching the Chiefs this year.
Yeah.
Trying to put away games.
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, I'm thinking maybe just line up correctly and don't take the worst penalty you've ever taken. And then, like, look, I will be a Spags defender till the end of time because I truly believe he's one of the 3 best defensive coordinators in NFL history. Like, the numbers back that up. I don't care about these nerds who are like, one year his defense was ranked X. That's nice. Watch the games. Yeah. Okay. He basically was the reason they won the Super Bowl in 2023. I will die on that.
Yes.
That offense was a terrorist organization against that team the entire season. And he was like, it's all right. We'll win anyway. And then Mahomes finally was like, all right, like, we'll make a few plays despite everything going against us and we'll win. But he made a comment, Spags did, this week. I think it was actually on Thursday.
Some pressers, man, I tell you what, this week of pressers was something.
Yeah, there's a lot of commentary, but I'm going to pick out one. So he was talking about the 3rd and 15 play, and he was asked about the coverage. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said we hadn't shown that coverage all game, and we were hoping to get more out of the pass rush. Well, and, like, I understand what he means, but at the same point, your pass rush sucks. It just does, man. Like, just time to accept it in a reality. Your pass rush is awful. You cannot make a call like that, in my opinion, sitting there hoping that pass rush is going to get on. By the way, against a very good Denver line. Like, Denver's line is the strength of the offense. You're not getting home with some 3 or 4 man rush in that. Like, to me, okay, I can understand maybe not like an all-out 6-man, 7-man jailbreak and gauge 8 blitz, but, like, bring a corner or something. Bring a safety. Bring Nick Bolton. Bring something. Like, try. And I just, it kind of fits into the theme of the week. So, like, Dave Tobe talked in his presser. I know one of his comments made a lot of ways. I got to tell you, I don't give a shit where you fall politically. Hilarious that he was that staunch. I just was like, this is how I feel, and I don't give a damn how anybody feels about it.
That caught me off guard. Did not expect that from Dave Tobe, I'll be honest.
Neither did I. And I was like, wow, you know what? Gotta say, kind of respect it.
Yeah.
But in any event, more not because of what he said, but just the abrasiveness of how he said.
100%, yes.
For the record. But no, like, he was saying, like, their internal rankings have them 22nd in special teams.
Generous.
And first of all, I was like, boy, you guys are turning those sliders way down. But also, like, we're going to put it on rookie mode, boys. But also, I'm like, do you know what a shit fest that's got to be in that room? And your own metrics are like, yeah, we're 22nd.
Right.
Like, hey, guys, like, maybe do something different. Now, they made Williams inactive last week, Joshua Williams, because they made Fulton active.
Uh-huh.
So that took away like 8 penalties a game, which is helpful. But also, like, I don't know, then maybe do something differently. Like, maybe stop catching punts at the 4-yard line. Maybe stop taking 5 or 6. I mean, literally what feels like 5 penalties a game on special teams. I mean, I just am to the point, like, if I'm Dave Tope and I'm not, and okay, he knows way more about football than I could dream of, but there does come a point, is there not, where you're just like, look, the next fucking guy who takes a penalty is getting benched. I'm done with this. The next guy who does it is on the, because the crazy thing is, when you think of bad special teams, you usually think of like terrible kickers.
Yeah.
And you think of like fumbling returns, and they don't do that
More. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you don't think about that with this team. Now, I mean, Butker's been bad this year, but it's more like just the ridiculousness of it all. You know, not covering kicks, kicking out of bounds, kicking short of the landing zone, not blocking a nose guard on an extra point. Like, come on. Like, this is just like, as I said on Monday's show, like, this is day one stuff.
Yeah.
How are you still not doing this correctly? Like, what is happening? So yeah, this, and then, you know, Nagy had his presser, and I'll just gloss right over that one. But I mean, it's just, it was not an inspiring day of pressers. You're like, man, I feel like things are going to be different now. And it was like, yeah, well, no panic here. feel good.
I mean, yeah. So there's like two schools of thought with that, right? Like, I understand the nature of how Andy Reid and kind of how he builds his whole staff and the whole outlook of being so consistent that you don't have two highs, a high of highs and too low of lows. Like, I get that you're always going to hear the same thing, but at some point, man, that's exhausting. Like, you need to have a high, you need to have a low. Like, you got to have some of that in there. You listen to other coaches around the NFL, they have highs, they have lows. That's a part of it. You cannot be so robotic in your answers because it comes off disingenuine. And that's what I think is so frustrating. Do I think that like the Chiefs and their head coach, like Andy Reid and the offensive staff, are aware of the problems and are trying to fix the problems? Yes, I do think that. But when they go up to the podium and act like they act, it comes off as just like, so what's the right word? It just comes off, I don't want to say arrogant. But it's almost just like, yeah, I mean, the same thing. It's like, it almost seems like they don't necessarily are portraying the actual care that they have into what's going on. And I know that they actually do have a care of like what's going on. They're actually taking care of these issues, right? But as fans, and I understand from fans' perspective too, of they want to know that they are taking care of that. And they want the lip service, I guess, is what I'm saying, is that sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to give it lip service as well, especially in this. You have to give it the window dressing, even though that they want to be so even keel that like you can't tell what's going on. You wouldn't be able to tell what's going on if you had no idea what the Chiefs were doing and you just hop into a press conference. You don't want to know what their record is. You wouldn't be able to tell. I understand that's kind of their whole thought process and everything, but you gotta, I mean, at some point you gotta try and window dress something.
I also think too, look, I don't have a problem because I get it. Like, I mean, we all do this for a living. Like, we get it. Yeah. I understand Andy's not going to walk up to the podium and be like, well, we're ass, and I don't know what the problem is. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. Matt Nagy's not going to walk up there and go, well, you know, if Juwan Taylor wasn't, playing, like, he doesn't understand what the rules of football are, we'd be in a better spot right now.
For sure.
The problem is, I don't care. Look, the pressers, they can be as boring as they want. They can be as mundane and repetitive as they want. That's fine. The problem becomes when you're on the sideline and these games are unfolding and you're in the heat of the battle and you're making the same fucking mistakes you make every single week. And they go off the field, whichever unit it is. Typically in this season, it feels like it's been the offense, although the defense, God knows, is with blame too. And they go off the field and it just, nothing changes.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. That is what's so maddening. If they were doing this stuff in the pressers, but things were changing on the field, you'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. They're keeping it in house. I respect it. They're not doing that. I mean, I know I've harped on this relentlessly, and I'm sure somebody in the comments are going to get on my case, and that's fine, deservedly so. How many times are you going to watch Juwan Taylor do this? Right. How many times?
Right.
I mean, honest to God, how many times are you going to watch this guy line up incorrectly and then just do nothing? And, well, we're addressing that. No, you're not addressing it. You're not addressing it. Nothing is changing. Right. If I wrote an article for Sports Illustrated and I misspelled Patrick Mahomes' name every single time I wrote the article, and my editor was like, hey, man, you misspelled Patrick, has a C in it. And I was like, all right, sorry, I spelled it the Czech way. Okay, no problem. Shout out to hockey, by the way, for that one. And then next time around, hey, Matt, listen, you got to pay attention. You misspelled Patrick Mahomes' name. Like, we have to issue a correction. Okay, no problem, dude. Sorry, I'll make sure. 28 times later, hey, Matt, thought we got it tattooed on your face. His name is spelled with this. Yeah, sorry, I just keep spelling it like Patrick Line. I just can't figure it out. I mean, you'd be fired. That's what would happen. Like, you would lose your job. And it just never changes. Or you watch this team struggle every week against man coverage. Every single week. They can't get open. They can't figure it out. I mean, look, I'm not saying this team's got Jerry Rice on it, but you've got talented players. Like, Rashee Rice is a real receiver. Xavier Worthy is, I understand this year he's fighting through a million injuries and all that. Like, Xavier Worthy is a capable NFL player. Hollywood Brown is, if nothing else, a capable NFL player who runs a 4.2 something and can run routes. Like, you have Travis Kelce. It's one of the greatest tight ends of all time. You can't beat man coverage with this team. Are you kidding me?
Right.
You just can't do it. And I'm watching Davis Mills on Thursday Night Football. Okay. And granted, he was not good. He was 16 of 30. The Texans were getting guys wide open against the Bills in this game. He couldn't even hit, but like, if he was a decent quarterback, it would have been 24-30 for about 300 yards in this game. And you watch the Chiefs, the Bills look like the steel curtain. You're like, this is like, I am always about blaming the players first from the standpoint that, like, you're on the field, you throw the ball, you catch the ball, you block, you tackle.
Execution is the first on the list.
You're on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, this year to me has been more about the coaches. The pass rush is about the players.
Yes.
Okay, that is about the players. I mean, maybe Spags should augment it better, but like, that's about the players. The players up front outside of Jones and Karlaftis stay.
Tough to kind of, to those pieces that he's got, tough to draw anything up.
It's tough. This offense, this is not Andy. This team's got more than enough talent to be a top flight offense in the NFL. And every week you got to watch them go out there, and it's like murder for this team. And it should. And by the way, it wasn't for a stretch of time.
Right.
They were killing people. Nobody got hurt. Nothing changed. If anything, they got Josh Simmons back and added Rashee Rice, and they were just, and that apparently just ended it. They're like, we have no idea what to do now.
Too good.
Tyquan Thornton, guy was an unbelievable revelation. They're like, yeah, listen, that's great, but have you seen Juju do like a TikTok dance? We got to keep him out there. Like, why? Nothing against Juju. I'm not saying put him on the bench forever, but like, my God, like, give Tyquan Thornton 8 of his snaps, 10 of his snaps. Like, what are we doing?
Can I read you a stat about Tyquan Thornton? I'm glad you brought Tyquan Thornton up, because I saw this stat earlier today about Tyquan Thornton, and it makes me realize, like, why aren't they playing this guy? Because his target share this year, this is according to Next Gen Stats, is 8.7%. So he's getting 8.7% of the targets this year. But he's accounted for the largest share of the Chiefs' air yards this season. So he has the low target share of 8.7, and he has 29% of the Chiefs' air yards this season. He's averaged 26.2 air yards per target. That's over 6 air yards more per target than the next closest receiver to him. Entering Week 12, 63.6% or 63.3% of Tyquan Thornton's targets have been deep, the highest deep target rate for a receiver since at least 2016. And they said, yeah, that's cool. How about you sit on the bench? I mean, I got to pull up his snap count percentage, but like, it's probably been like, what, under 5%?
Oh no, dude, it's nothing. It's disgusting. And they just apparently can't figure out a way to get this guy on the field. Just can't do it.
It's crazy. And like, here's a sentence I didn't think I would say in June. They probably need to play him more than Hollywood, and they need to play him probably more than Worthy at this point, truthfully. Like, he's probably their most consistent threat has been this year, has been Tyquan Thornton.
So against Jacksonville, he had 90 yards. He played 29 snaps.
Shout out.
Since then, 17 snaps against Detroit, where they didn't even have Rashee Rice. Then he had 27 snaps against the Raiders, but a lot of that came in garbage time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Against the Commanders, he had 5 snaps. Against the Bills, because, they were just humming so well offensively that day.
Right, yeah.
He had 14 snaps. And then this past week, 16 snaps. Now he's got for the year, despite that, 372 yards. But now, I don't mean to pick on somebody here because I'm not trying to do that, but I've got to give an example. So 370 yards. Marquise Brown has 429, so a couple more. He's playing 360. He's playing 36 snaps a game compared to what Tyquan Thornton's getting, and he's barely outpacing.
Yeah.
What we're getting.
Yeah.
I just don't. What is the point? What is I just don't understand. And it seems like they don't. I would love to know, what is the reasoning? And they'll never, of course, say it publicly. Juju Smith-Schuster, by the way, has 291 yards and is just seeing the field at a great clip. 49, 42, 50, 57, 40.
Well, he's their Justin Watson this year, to be fair. He's the guy that they have to get out there to run cardio and block a couple times.
You know how many yards he has in the last 2 weeks?
0.
2.
No, that's 2 more than I thought.
2. I just don't understand. Okay, so why is he getting 24 snaps and Thornton's getting 16? Explain this to me. How does this make any sense? What do you need? Another guy who can't beat man coverage? Is that what you need? I just don't get what the point of it is. And that's where I do come down. Like I said, I'm always going to blame the players first. But the way this team is coached offensively is insane. It is insane. See a run you like? Well, you're never going to see it again. How do you feel about inside duo out of gun? Your second best team in EPA per rush out of the under center look? Yeah, well, you're never going to see it. How's that? It's just, how is this obvious? Well, literally every human being who covers the sport, the Chiefs are just nope.
Yeah.
Nope. How do you feel about Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of gun? Because here it comes. It's insane. It's insane. It's an insane way to coach a football team.
I'm sure. I shouldn't say I'm sure. Did you see the screenshot that I had posted from NFL Pro on? I can't remember I think this was Monday. I had posted a screenshot of a very crucial situation. If not, I'll pull it up right now.
I did not know.
This is 2nd down and 10. Fourth quarter, 4 minutes left to go in the game. The Chiefs are on their own 26-yard line. The game is tied. And they said, you know what we need to do? We need to throw out this personnel. If you're listening on the podcast version, this is if this wasn't a Hall of Fame coach, you make this guy needs to be fired. I think, yes, this is technically 13 personnel. Kareem Hunt is your running back. He's not lined up where running backs are usually lined up. He's lined up to Mahomes' right, but he's split out right to the bottom of the screen.
Outside the numbers.
Yes, outside the numbers, Kareem Hunt. On the line of scrimmage, in line is Travis Kelce as a tight end. Okay, that one makes a little bit sense.
Sure.
So if you're like Tucker, okay, 13 personnel, that means, there's 4, so you need to have a wide receiver, right? So you need to have a wide receiver to make it 11. Who's the wide receiver? That'd be Rashee Rice.
Right.
Yeah, great. I would love to have Rashee Rice on the field in 13 personnel. He's the running back. He's lined up at running back. Rashee Rice is. On the other side with the 2 other tight ends, you have Noah Gray on the line of scrimmage and then Robert Tonyan off the line of scrimmage at the top of the screen. That is against a Denver defense that saw this and was like, oh, they're not running the football. and immediately, it was never a threat. So this is what we talk about, man. You talk about it on both sides of the ball, right? When you talk about the personnel issues right here of this was 4th down. You had to have something on this drive. You had to at least kill some clock. You had to get into field goal range, right? The game is tied. This is a gotta have it drive, and they trot that out there. In a game where we talked about the stakes ad nauseum, and I cannot imagine that they didn't talk about the stakes of that game in terms of winning the AFC West, because that is the first thing that they talk to you about when they open up a season of we want to win the AFC West. That is their very first goal. And you're telling me that they said, yeah, we'll trot this out there. in a gotta have it time where they run some bullshit route combo that was never going to work. Patrick Mahomes runs for his life to try to buy some time, and Travis Kelce tries to toe tap at age 43. I mean, it was one of the more infuriating, those last two drives for the Chiefs, man. So infuriating offensively. If I never have to see those again, I would actually be really happy with my life. But I've actually caused myself to watch both of those again.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you're going to add that on at the end, but as an addendum, yes, the pass was incomplete.
Yeah.
But this is kind of what we talked about. And like, this is to spin it forward at this Colts game. Like, this is a big part of why I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You're going to play a normal football game, or is it just going to be a circus for 60 minutes? What are you going to do? Like, I know this comes off as real homerish, but I truly believe it. If this team plays to the capabilities that it has for the rest of the season, they can absolutely win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. Look around the league. You're going to tell me this team couldn't do it? They were eviscerating people for a month and a half. Like, nothing's changed personnel-wise.
No.
Yeah, and I obviously, we've talked about it. I'm aware of the fact that their running backs run like they don't have knees and that they have no pass rush. I understand all that. But you know what? Every team in the league's got a bunch of flaws. Every single one of them. And the Chiefs have Mahomes, and they've got all these guys to throw the ball to, and they were killing people with the quick game. They were scoring 30-some-odd points. I mean, I remember we were sitting here talking before the Bills game that, like, the Chiefs had punted, like, one time in their last 26 real possessions. Like, it was unbelievable. It was the bestest team in the look since they beat the Eagles in Super Bowl 57.
Yeah.
And then it just disappeared instantly. Well, that team's still there. It's there. Like, they were able to do it. Nobody got hurt. There's no big injury that changed everything. Like, if anything, they've gotten healthier.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that it's in this team, but I got to tell you, I think what's changed the last 2 weeks, and again, I'm going to go back to, like, the game plans these last 2 weeks are fucking awful. They're awful game plans.
Yeah.
They don't make sense. I'm sorry. That Bills game plan is legitimately the worst game plan I've ever seen Andy Reid give the Chiefs. Ever.
Yes.
Ever. I still don't know what the hell they were doing.
The second worst one was the one that they just trotted out against the Broncos.
I mean, it's a top fiver. Like, What is that? What are you doing? You're running the ball effectively. You have 3rd and 1. You're like, nah, we'll just drop back and get sacked. What are you doing? Why? Like, you're up 3 with the ball. I don't care. I know in their head, it's like, well, you know what? We've got to save. Screw that, man. You got to go win now. Right now. You got a play that you think's going to work. Well, you better pull it out now. And it shouldn't be Brashard Smith on a wheel route when you need to have it. Like, nothing against Brashard Smith, but he's a kid. He's barely ever even on the field. Like, It's dumb football, man. It's dumb football. And by the way, the thing that gets lost in that penultimate drive, not the one where they ran out that personnel grouping from hell, the prior one where they were up 19-16. Okay, so people forget this now. The Chiefs score a touchdown in the fourth quarter, go up 19-16. The Chiefs defense, maligned as it may be, then goes out and gets a 3-and-out. They force Denver off the field. Chiefs get the ball back with 8 minutes left. They're at their own 12. They're 8 minutes to go. You put a drive together here, this game's over. You win.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember how that drive started?
No, I don't.
Noah Gray took a penalty, false start.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just can't, man. You can't. And you know what ended up being the down distance at the end? 4th and 2. I mean, that stuff just kills you.
Yeah.
It kills you. So the players are not without blame, but like the way they coach the end of that game, the way they coach throughout the day, it's just mind-numbing. It doesn't make sense. And at some point, like, you've got to be able to marry basic execution to basic coaching.
Yeah.
And the last 2 weeks, it's been just everything you could possibly do to lose a game, players and coaches, like, they've managed to do it.
Well, I think there's still another side of the football to talk about on the Colts matchup here. Jonathan Stewart is a pretty darn good running back, and Daniel Jones is apparently a real quarterback now. That's weird, but it's happened, and they now have the number 1 offense in the NFL. So we'll talk about that. But first, you guys already know I'm calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't go anywhere. We will be back to talk Chiefs defense, Colts offense right after this. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Chiefs Kingdom, what is your favorite touchdown? By now, you guys already know that mine is the next one. That's because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown scorer to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Here's the best part. New customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned to what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and built to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
All right, man, I don't know if you heard this. Jonathan Taylor, pretty good running back. If only the Chiefs had the opportunity to have him on their team, man. If they only had a shot.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's not bad. I've seen worse running backs. He was drafted after Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh,
yeah,
that's weird.
It's good. Listen, this game is going to be a lot, like from a defensive standpoint for the Chiefs, this game is going to be a lot about you have got to at least limit Taylor in this game.
For sure.
Now, the funny thing is with the Chiefs, as much as we've sat here and just aired grievances, and rightfully so, they've actually this year against really good running backs been really good.
Yeah.
Like Cook had 100 yards on him. Nobody else is even come close. Barkley had 88 on 22 carries, which is not a bad day at the office for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Jahmyr Gibbs did nothing. Travis Etienne did nothing.
Right.
It's not. Derrick Henry did nothing. Like they have really shut down Even a guy like Krosky Merritt, who's been good this year for Washington, like they shut him down.
6 yards, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They've done a really good job in that regard. Now, the question is going to become, this is a different animal. Okay, Taylor is the best back in the league. Cook is the second best back in the league by yardage, and we saw what he did. I think part of this is going to have to be, look, you've got to be, gap sound and assignment sound and all that, the boring stuff. I also think part of this, the Chiefs have got to get out in front in this game.
Yep.
They've got to be, because of two things that it does for you defensively. One, it takes Taylor not out of the game, but it mitigates what they can do with him.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, it allows Spagnuolo to do what I think they've got to do in this game, which is blitz Daniel Jones into the parking lot.
Right.
They cannot sit there and do this 4-man rush crap and play spot drop zone and just watch as it's basically an option route against Nick Bolton with Tyler Warren. Like, you want to do that, you're going home. You have to figure out a way to get pressure in this game. And listen, the Colts in their first 8 games, 9 sacks allowed. Were unbelievable. The last 2 weeks, the Steelers and Falcons basically said, hey, you know what? We're bringing everybody. Let's see what he does with that. He's been sacked 12 times, and he's had 7 turnovers. Like, if you're the Chiefs in this game, I would literally be telling these linebackers, we're blitzing relentlessly, and if you happen to see Taylor on the way to the quarterback, hit him too. Yeah. Well, we are just going after you. Because I got to tell you, in this game, if they play passive against Jones and they just sit there, well, they've got Pittman and Pierce and Warren, and they're going to get open. They're going to get open. Check it down to Taylor. You've got to be willing. To me, you put the pressure on the corners in this game. And you say, we are going to do whatever we have to do to put numbers in the box. We are going to blitz the hell out of Jones in this game. And we are going to man up with Pierce, and we're going to man up with Pittman, and we're going to take our chances.
Yeah.
And you know what? If Daniel Jones has not been chucking the deep ball a ton.
No.
I was looking up his deep ball numbers earlier. He's very good in the intermediate level this season, but he's really that's where he's kind of making his money. He is not throwing the ball deep downfield. Now, Alec Pierce is a good deep ball guy. He's a great jump ball one-on-one, but that's not Jones's game. Okay, on air yards 20 plus, he's 9 of 29 with 2 TDs and 3 picks.
Oh, wow.
He's not good.
No.
Okay. Intermediate level, he's been very good. That's where he's thrived the most. Short, underneath passes, he's been fine. He actually has been just kind of okay, but he's been great on those 10 to 19-yard passes. That's what the Chiefs have to take away. But the other note I'd give you is against the blitz. You look at his numbers and say, actually, okay, EPA per dropback, plus 0.17 against the blitz, plus 0.14 no blitz. Okay, time to throw is almost identical.
Mm-hmm.
All these things actually takes more sacks when you don't blitz him.
Interesting.
But here's the big difference. Here's the really big difference. When he is not blitzed, he completes 76.5% of his passes for a completion percentage over expectation of 9, plus 9.
Wow.
When he is blitzed, his completion rate drops from 76.5 to 56.6. And his completion percentage of expectation goes to negative 0.9. If you blitz him, he becomes wildly inaccurate compared to when he's not blitzed. And that, to me, that's the difference. You have to go after him in this game. You have to put pressure on him in this game. Also, by the way, everybody's made a meal out of this whole thing about, play action. You know when play action breaks down? When you blitz the crap out of it. That's when it breaks down. When he goes to turn around the handoff, and look at that. Here comes Jalen Watson screaming off the edge. You've got to take the stuff away. The answer to do it is to blitz him, and to do it a lot.
You read my mind about play action because I wanted to bring up his play action numbers because they are actually insane. His numbers of play action, he's completed over 70% of his pass attempts when using play action. That's the 5th most yards per attempt, 9.2. Yep. Tyler Warren is also that big target there with Michael Pittman. Tyler Warren having an incredible rookie season, by the way. He looks to be a phenomenal tight end. He'll be he'll be up there for rookie of the year possibly. Chiefs have allowed a league high 81.2% completion percentage against play action this season. And Daniel Jones is completing a lot of his passes. That's the 2nd most yards per attempt as well on their completion percentage, 11. So it's kind of a recipe for disaster for the Chiefs defense with the play action. But as you mentioned, you blitz, that kind of blows up play action a little bit. You also get ahead and they stop like negating the running game. Obviously, that kind of helps give less respect to the play action. But they have such a good back in Jonathan Taylor that obviously you always have to respect the play action a little bit because of how good Jonathan Taylor's been. I mean, he's on pace right now for 2,300 scrimmage yards, over 2,300 scrimmage yards.
It's not bad. It'll play.
Yeah. I mean, I think what did Chris Johnson do that one year? Was it 25? Did he get 25 scrimmage yards, 2,500?
I think he did. About it, but yeah, I mean, that 1 year he was just unbelievable.
It was nuts, yeah.
But yeah, Jonathan Taylor's having an offensive player of the year season.
Yeah.
Like he is having that level of a year. And if you're the Chiefs, you're going to have to figure out how to curtail some of this. And listen, he's a great player. He's going to get his sometimes. Like that's part of the deal. And speaking of great players, one other stat I want to bring up here is when the Chiefs had the football, one thing I wanted to say earlier, and I got off track. The Colts are not a blitz heavy team. They blitz, they're 19th most, so they do not blitz very much. And I know we've been talking about Mahomes the last couple of weeks, hasn't played well, and all that's true. One thing that does benefit Kansas City, when he is not blitzed this year, his numbers are absolutely outrageous. So if you look at his numbers this season, when he's blitzed, he's fine, but like he's not anywhere near as good as he normally is. When he is not blitzed, his EPA on the year is plus 83.2.
Wow.
I mean, for the record, like there are guys like this year. So not blitzed, 83.2. Just to kind of put that into context, if you look, the leaders, it's a cumulative stat. So it keeps growing as you go. They're like Josh Allen's EPA before this train wreck of a game against Houston for the year is 68. So, like, Mahomes, when not blitzed, is basically Josh Allen plus, like, another halfway decent quarterback. Like, just, like, good luck.
Plus Davis Mills. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, I said halfway decent. Actually, you know what? The math works out. It's basically Josh Allen plus Lamar Jackson.
Oh. I thought Davis
That's
Mills
what he is not blitzed EPA-wise. No, Davis Mills, no, please. My God.
That's too bad.
Davis Mills' EPA for the season is... Is he on the board here?
There's no way. He's only played 3 games.
Yeah, he's not on the board. But the point being, listen, the Colts don't blitz a lot. They do play a lot of man, though. So, like, what wins out here? Not blitz. And they don't have Buckner in this game, which is a big deal because he is their best defensive lineman. Now, we'll see. But it's a weird game, man. Like, it's a game where you could make a case, well, hey, play action and Jonathan Taylor, all this stuff. You make the case for the Colts. I can also sit here and say, well, the Colts don't blitz a lot, and if Mahomes has time, he's going to dice him up because that's what he does. And they're at home in this game. And if Daniel Jones gets blitzed, he's kind of a train wreck. And the Chiefs, that's what they live off of, is when they get these exotic pressures. It kind of comes down to like which version of the Chiefs shows up.
Yeah.
You know, it really does. Like, is the team that's like on its P's and Q's show up, or is the team that like stumbles out of the bar at 3 a.m. show up? Like, which version of the Chiefs is showing up at this game?
That will be that's the $1 million question, right? That might be the title of this podcast. Which Chiefs team will show up versus Colts?
On P's and Q's or drunk?
Will the Chiefs be drunk versus Colts? I was checking my receipts, and I have a lot of tweets about Davis Mills for some reason.
Wow.
And I was an OG Davis Mills truther, by the way, and I realized that a lot of them are coming on January 9th of 2022, and I was like, why did I have 4 Davis Mills tweets on January 9th of 2022? And I Googled it. That's when they played the Titans, the Texans-Titans. They lost that game. Why was I tweeting so much about Davis Mills and the loss?
I know why. Because if the Texans won that game, the Chiefs were going to be the 1 seed.
Oh, okay. That makes a whole lot more sense why I was being a big Davis Mills fan. So I was doing it tongue in cheek, and I thought that I was actually
The Chiefs actually had a shot for that to go their way, but Davis Mills is just an absolute disaster. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that was that the year that oh gosh, he used to be David Coley was their head coach. That's right. David Coley was the head coach for that 1 year for the Texans.
Oh my God, I forgot. Wow. I did not remember David Coley was a human being. And he coached for the Chiefs too.
The Texans had 15 points in the fourth quarter of that game. They made it interesting. Damn, the Titans got out to a 21-0 lead at the half. And then the Texans come back, boom, 10 unanswered points in the third. And then the Titans got a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but then 15 fourth quarter points from the Texans. They didn't quite get it done. But no, I'm glad that you remember that because I was like, why was I cheering so hard for Davis Mills to hit Danny Amendola for a 7-yard touchdown pass versus the Ryan Tannehill and Julio Jones Titans?
What a crap fest.
I was really cheering for Davis Mills on that one. That's crazy.
Because what day was that?
January 9th of 2022. That would have had to have been like week 18,
Yes. Yeah, they lost 28-25. Actually, I take back my words. Davis Mills threw for 301 in that game.
Davis Mills is kind of cooking, man.
Man, it was 23-33 for 3. I apologize. It's like the old Shaq meme. I wasn't familiar with the game that day. I remember that game.
Abdul Tannehill.
Because there was like a real, as that game was unfolding, I was like, is Tennessee really going to blow a 21-0 halftime lead? This team, are you serious? That was the year the Chiefs played on Saturday. They played in Denver, and Nick Bolton ran back like a 90-yard fumble. Remember that? It was against Drew Lock.
Yeah, Drew Lock just dropped the ball. Yeah.
Tyreek got hurt in the warm-ups for that game.
Uh-huh.
What a ridiculous season. And then, the Chiefs somehow ended up hosting the AFC Championship game somehow.
Yes.
That year is this year, just 4 years later. It's just the weirdest crap you've ever seen in your life. Just over and over and over and over. And it's where we are.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. And that was the year that they obviously lost to the Bengals in the AFC title game, and that was the year of the 13 seconds game too. So I mean, just a crazy week, man.
Yeah. By the way, that was also a year that the Chiefs were 3-4.
Oh yeah, that's right. They lost that game to Baltimore where Clyde fumbled it. When they could have just kicked a field goal and Clyde fumbled. I do remember.
Yep.
That.
We all sat there and went 3-4. They're done, and then they ripped off 8 wins in a row.
Damn. It's kind of the same schedule as they had this year, though, because they're playing the same teams. It's that cycle.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the same-ish schedule. Obviously, the first place teams that they're playing are different. But
they literally, in the first handful of weeks, played Washington, Buffalo, Philly, the Chargers, and the Ravens.
That's what caught me. It's like Philly, Buffalo, Washington, Tennessee. I was like, whoa, they play all those teams this year. They play those teams. They don't play the Packers this year, right? But
oh my God,
that's crazy.
Here's a fun poll. So that was the year that the Raiders stomped on the logo at midfield before the game.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the Chiefs just put it on them 48-9.
Mm-hmm.
Fun question. Can you name the leading rusher for the Chiefs that afternoon? If you can, I am ultra impressed.
Oh, in that game against the Raiders?
The Raiders, a 48-9 game.
Was it one of the Williams?
Outrageous poll.
Oh, gosh. Okay, 2021.
The only hint I'll give you is at the end of the game, he was in there in mop-up duty, and he ripped off a 51-yard touchdown, and it was hilarious.
Oh, wow.
They were basically running the clock out. And
yeah. So it would have been it would have to be a deep roster cut then because it was garbage time.
For about an hour there, people thought this guy was Walter Payton. And it turns out he wasn't.
I don't know. You're going to
Derek Gore.
Of course. How could I forget Derek Gore? People that is a training camp. People love that dude in training camp.
So Derek Gore.
Wow. No relation, by the way.
No, had a big day that day. A 51-yard touchdown and 66 yards rushing. Yep.
That's.
He also caught 2 passes for 23 yards. Yep.
Derek Gore, man. I didn't think we'd be talking about Derek Gore on this podcast, but I'm glad that we are.
Here we are.
I am very glad that we are. Yeah, that 2021 Chiefs team ended 12-5. And they did, as you mentioned, did not get off to the greatest of starts. They got off to a 3-4 start.
Correct.
So we'll see if the Chiefs can string together some wins. Matt, are we at the point now where we need to start, I don't know if we'll call it scoreboard watching or who we should cheer for, because it's now kind of down to the time where you're going to be start looking at other games. It's week 12 already. So you got to start be looking around and be like, all right, you kind of need these results to go this way.
Honestly, as weird as it sounds, like kind of not really, because they just need to win games.
Yeah.
But the rest of this is almost irrelevant right now with this team. Like they just need, look, if the Chiefs start to win games, like if the Chiefs get themselves like 8-5, let's just say, then I think you can start looking at like, hey, do you get lucky? Does Denver lose a game they shouldn't lose?
Yeah.
Because I will say this, look, I'll say this because if it comes true, we can replay this and I'll look great.
Good. Hang on. Let me get ready to write down the timestamp. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. If the Chiefs went out, there's an almost guarantee that they will beat out Denver for any tiebreaker in the division because they will have beaten them again head-to-head if they went out. So that goes out the window. Denver has a divisional loss already to the Chargers, so they would tie in that regard. The next thing would be common opponent. I won't bore you, but the Chiefs would not lose that if Denver loses a couple more games. Worst case, they'd be tied. After that, it goes to conference record. Worst case, they'd be tied. After that, it goes to strength of victory. The Chiefs would win that out.
Correct.
So if you're the Chiefs and you went out, you'd beat Denver. You need them to lose 2 more games. They've got home games. Ironically, the games they might lose are probably all home games. The Packers, Jags, the Chargers.
Jags.
Could they lose 2 of those 3 games?
I mean, yeah.
Right. So, like, if the Chiefs went out, that's your path. And, like, look, I'm not saying they're going to, but my point is if they get themselves like 8-5 or something, then I think you start looking at the scoreboard a little bit and going, okay, what if Denver has some weird letdown game against Washington? What if they have some weird game against the Raiders? I don't think they will. They almost did.
Yeah.
Like what if, or what if they just lose to like the Packers and the Jags or something?
Right.
Like that's when to me you start looking at this scoreboard and going, all right, like, and you're not just looking up there for the Tua Geno counter.
I mean, look, we got some good ones. We got some bangers on Monday night. Monday night was a good one.
Geno was just wailing. I mean, here we go, boys. National TV.
Oh yeah, I gotta make a graphic. I think for it. That's the next thing is that football show. Geno interception, Tua interception graphic that we can tweet out. Here, I think there's 2 schools of thought to this. I think this is a really interesting thought to have because I 100% agree with you. It's like they can control. They're at the point where they can still control their own destiny by winning all these games. And if they win all the games, they're fine. They don't need any help. But I'm watching around the NFL. They'll probably get help. Is also probably the other part of it is like they'll probably end up getting help by just a team losing a game that they shouldn't. Now, if they take care of business and get help, obviously that would be the best case scenario, right? But I think that like I see people on Twitter sometimes be like, they gotta win, they gotta go 7-0, they gotta win all of them. Well, sure, you certainly would like for them to win all of them. I don't necessarily think to make the playoffs they have to win all of them because I think there's enough.
6 is probably enough.
Yeah, I think there's enough tomfoolery that'll happen that they can probably luck their way into a spot because of the parity that's going on right now in the league. I think that should be it. I don't think that they have to absolutely win out. We'll probably get to a point maybe where we have to say they have to win out. But I think at this point right now where we sit, they got to beat AFC teams because you look at their conference. Like that was one thing that was kind of alarming when I was on the streams this week, talking through kind of what all was going on and like all of the tiebreaker procedures and everything like that. I'm looking at the Chiefs conference record in the AFC games and it's like, oh, it's brutal. They just haven't beaten an AFC. They've beaten 2 AFC teams. And
Yeah, they've beaten nobody in the playoff picture right now.
yeah, and like, shout out the Lions. They're not in the playoff picture. So, I mean, like, the teams that have beat are NFC teams that suck.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of what it's come down to is when you look at that, and you're like, man, they got to beat some AFC teams. They don't have that tiebreaker. I already mentioned at the beginning of the show, they don't have any head-to-head tiebreakers with any of the people ahead of them right now. The best they can do with the Broncos is obviously get the split. But, yeah, we won't start that yet of who to cheer for. But, I mean, looking at this Week 12 slate of games, there's some good ones on here. I think the noon, obviously, slate is going to be occupied by the Chiefs. Chiefs are going to have I think that's a dominant game too on CBS, if I remember correctly from the ball maps. That is a big one that's going to be broadcasted. Cowboys Eagles, they're going to try to show that to the whole country as well again, because Fox loves to just shove the Cowboys down your throat.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just saw the Browns and Raiders are at 305.
Thor and Gino, look out. Yeah, and we got the Rams and the Bucks on Sunday night.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
And I wrote about the 5 games that I thought were the best games of the week. We had those games. Bears and Steelers are at noon, which is I don't know if it's a great game, but it's a meaningful game.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent slate of games.
Pats Bengals with presumably Joe Burrow back, correct?
Correct.
Presumably
yes,
Joe Burrow back in that one.
And then who is it? Is it Minnesota and Green Bay?
Yes, Vikings at Packers.
So we'll see. I mean, I saw Diana Rossini was like, do we have a conversation of whether or not J.J. McCarthy's on the Vikings next year? And I was like, do we? Like, do we have that conversation?
Yeah.
Like started like 6 games in his NFL career. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's time to already start that conversation, I guess. And it was also really funny in the clip that she was like, should I even say this? And like, if you have to start off by saying, should I even say this? Don't say it.
Yeah.
Don't say it. Seahawks and Titans will be a doozy. I can't wait for the Titans to make that one a competitive football game. Oh, I thought that was in Seattle and starting at noon. I was like, how are they doing that? Nope. That's about it. Panthers Niners could be a frisky one. Panthers have a better record than the Chiefs right now, by the way.
6-5.
Shout out to the David Tepper led Panthers.
I wrote about this because I couldn't believe this. I was doing my like rookie report that I do every like once a month, and
yeah.
I had Ted McMillan at number 1.
Oh.
Bro, if you combine every receiving yard the rest of that team has from wide receivers, it's like 70 yards less than what he has.
That's insane. That's insane.
It is him, it is Rico Dowdle, and it is nobody. That team is 6-5. Like, it's unbelievable.
That's crazy too. They just paid Chuba Hubbard all that money. Chuba Hubbard, however you want to call him. But then they're just like, hey, Rico Dowdle for $0.015, come on in. And be they gave up that backfield to him really quick. They're like, okay, yeah, no, it's yours. The Broncos, the Chargers, and the Dolphins all on bye. Those are all teams. I saw the Dolphins in the hunt graphic the other day. I was like, what is happening? That's not fair. They're not in any hunt. What are you talking about?
No, they are not. Yeah, what a ridiculous season.
It is a ridiculous season. It could be a ridiculous week. I'm excited to go out to Arrowhead and watch Chiefs and Colts. Hopefully I don't hate my life.
You'll be there.
I'll be at that game. Hopefully I don't want to commit any horrible acts against myself by watching that football game.
That's fair.
I got a low bar, just don't make me hate myself and I will have a good time. Chiefs and Colts, appreciate everybody hanging on all the way to the end of the podcast. As is tradition, I will look up right now and see if there are any reviews, any 5-star rating and reviews I'll read. If you leave a review that's not 5 stars, I'm not going to read it.
There you go to hell.
Yeah, because that's how this works. 5 days ago, I don't think did I read this 5? Okay, no, I don't think I have. That Football Show from Chiefs Catalyst. Shout out for your review. Tucker and Matt are the best for KCSN and That Football Show. Matt seems to read my mind on so much and certainly have the same temperament. Look at that. Shout out to Chief Catalyst for that one. I think that is the most recent 5-star review. Appreciate you guys for leaving those 5-star rating reviews. Appreciate all the comments on last video as well. Everyone was pissed off.
Holy hell.
Thank you guys for being pissed off with us. I really hope, Matt, that after the game and when I come back and then we have to, record our podcast then, I hope that it is. It's not going to be the same temperament as that last podcast.
Yeah. I also hope that. We're gonna find out.
We will find out. All right, that's going to do it for us here at That Football Show. Thank you to our sponsors, Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon. You guys already know they are the people who make this show possible. We could not thank them enough for everything that they do for us. So for Matt Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. We'll be back after the Chiefs and the Colts game. We'll talk to you on Monday.